Is this handmade? Are you making fun of me? Handmade is nothing more than garbage. Who wants this garbage?
I gave my sister-in-law Rose handmade baby clothes as a baby shower gift, but she threw them away, calling them less than garbage. I was so frustrated, but I was thinking, while holding back my tears, that I'm sure my brother and sister-in-law will regret it. I am Judy. I'm in my 30s and single. I have 2 siblings, an older brother Mark and a younger brother Jory. Mark and I are far apart in age. Jory is close in age. My parents died when Mark was a high school student and Jory was in a first grade of elementary. Our house, because of a contract, when my father passed away, we were no longer obligated to pay the mortgage. We were fortunate to be able to continue to live in the house. I think this was really important. My relatives were worried about Jory, who is still young. They suggested sending him to an orphanage, but Mark said, I will raise him myself. If I can't do it, I'll think about it. He refused their suggestion. He thought he didn't want the 3 of us to be torn apart, and he couldn't bear to lose any more of his family. I'm so impressed with his great determination. I, on the other hand, am a very shy person. I couldn't talk about my feelings very well when I was a child. Even as an adult, I have not been able to improve. Now, I work from home and live alone in my parents' house. I have many happy memories of my parents, and memories of working hard with my brothers. That's why I love and cherish that house. It is an old house, so regular maintenance is important. As a single person, I feel it is my duty to protect it. My brothers have offered to take care of it, but I have refused their offers. I am the only one who pays for repairs. They are married and have moved out of the house. But they live only 1 station away from me, so we have a lot of interaction in our daily life. We are still good brothers and sisters. Anyway, since they are both married, we can't see each other just for the sake of being brothers. And there was another reason why I couldn't visit him easily. That reason is Mark's wife. I'm close to Jory's wife, but Rose looks down on me for some reason. Whenever I see her, she always curses at me. Recently, a letter was sent to my parents' house. Mark asked me to bring a letter to his house, so I went to visit them. She immediately started cursing me without saying hello. Oh my God, I can't believe you went to all the trouble to come all the way to our house to deliver such a letter. You must have a lot of time on your hands. If that was the first thing she said when she opened the door, I couldn't possibly get along with her.
No, it doesn't mean that I have a lot of time, but I work from home.
I tried to resist somehow.
What? I don't know what you're talking about. I can't hear you. You're driving me crazy,
she said. Then she put up her hands with jingling, expensive-looking jewelry on purpose. I looked at them without thinking. You care about that? Well, you can't afford it, can you? She continued her words with a giggle. I went to see Karen the other day. Unlike you, Karen, she knows my sense of style. She's just like me, she knows what's trendy and what's not. Karen is Jory's wife. Karen gets along well with me and her. She works at a clothing store. It's a luxury brand, so she likes it. Rose doesn't have a job. Her jewelry is paid for by Mark's hard work, but he is a saver. He doesn't like fancy things. Neither do I. It's not that we don't have the money to afford it. It's a matter of taste. And yet she wears luxury brand clothes and jewelry. It's none of my business, but I can't shake the feeling of discomfort. And even though I work from home, I'm independent and I've never bothered her at all. So why do I have to be made fun of so often? I really had no idea. But my brother was in love with his beautiful wife. When they got married, I am so happy that my beautiful girlfriend, who is out of my league, chose me, he said so happily. I'm a very shy person, and when I think of my brother, I always hesitate to say something back to him. Have you finished your errands? I'm meeting a friend now, so please leave soon. She was dressed more extravagantly than usual. I can't believe she was dressed like that to hang out with her friend. I'm sure her friend is the flamboyant type as well. I bowed my head to tell her I'm done, and went home. Even after I got home, I was still bothered by her attitude. Whenever I meet her, I don't know why, but she just has this attitude towards me. But my brother brought me to this point. After my parents died, I was in his debt. He married late because of me and my brother. I want him to be happy. That's what I always wanted. That's why even though I know her other side, I only see her once in a while. I thought it would be okay if I just put up with it. I just had to put up with her attitude. Then my brother and sister-in-law had a baby. I didn't want to see her, and I didn't want her to complain that I had no taste, so I gave my brother a gift card for the baby gift for my brother. But that night, I got a call from Rose. I hesitated for a moment before answering. Maybe it was a thank you call. I had such a faint hope, I answered without being prepared.
A gift card? Are you kidding me? Bring me something better. What?
I can't believe this is the gift of a newborn. I knew you didn't have any common sense. That's why poor people are useless. You have a niece. You're supposed to get something more expensive. My husband said he'd take care of the baby. But looking at you, I can't even imagine what he's capable of. Gosh, she made me buy a gift for the baby. And she also made fun of Mark. I was mad for the first time in my life. I thought I could talk back to her. On the phone, I grabbed my cell phone like I was ready to fight back. Hey, you were on the phone? Then I heard Mark's voice on the phone. I was just thanking her for the present, but she said she would bring us another gift. So she asked me what I wanted. I'm so lucky to have a good sister-in-law. With that kind of lie. She puts my brother on the phone. Oh, well, don't be too hard on yourself. You'll have to come and see me. No problem, I'll come see you when I can, I said and hung up the phone. What was I going to do now? By talking back, I might have robbed my brother of his happiness. I was afraid of that. I want him to be happy. I want him to keep his gentle smile. That's all I wanted. A few days later, I went to Rose's house. I was told that Mark would be there today. I was on my way to go there with a peace of mind. When I got there, he came out the front door. Oh, sorry, I got called to work. But please have a good time with her. He said that and left. As I watched his back, I felt a cold stare behind me. And the nightmare began. Roses had received a baby gift from Karen on another day. She bragged about it with satisfaction. She also kept complaining that the gift certificate I gave her was not good enough. Her baby is adorable, but I thought I'd just give her the gift and go home soon.
Well, What's this? Did you hear what I said the other day?
I gave Rose baby clothes. She made fun of the fact that they were handmade and threw the whole package away in front of me.
This is handmade, isn't it? Are you making fun of me? Handmade is nothing but garbage. Who wants this garbage?
Many words came to my mind to say back, but then I remembered Mark's happy voice. I swallowed the words. Instead, tears welled up in my eyes. I hurriedly left the place. She said something behind my back, but I couldn't listen to them anymore. After that, I was often out of touch with him. Partly because he was busy, but also because I didn't contact him. Then, after a while, I got a call from Mark. Karen had given birth to a baby. He wanted me to go with his wife to celebrate. I wanted to refuse, but Mark thinks I'm good friends with his wife. He said to me, "I am worried about letting her go alone with the baby. I want you to go with her." I had no choice but to agree. By the way, he and Jory were at work, so they were going to meet me later. So I went with his wife to Jory's house to celebrate. Because of the trouble I went through last time, I had prepared a slightly larger gift certificate as a congratulatory gift for Karen. I had planned to get baby clothes for Jory's baby, but after the incident with Rose, I changed it to a gift card. To be honest, I wanted to leave as soon as I gave her the gift. But my brothers are coming over later, so I can't leave before them. I want them to come as soon as possible. I don't want anything to do with her. That's what I thought. She kept talking to me on the way. If she doesn't like me, why doesn't she just leave me alone? You didn't bring any homemade baby clothes again, did you? Maybe because there were people there. She kept making sarcastic remarks in a low voice, as if she was mocking me. For the rest of the day, I thought she was still looking down on me. I was not in the mood. With these feelings, when we got to Jory's house, I saw something I never expected to see. "Is this yours?" I recognized that because the paper bag was so cute. It was a baby outfit I had made. That day I gave the baby gift to Mark and his wife. She also visited them to pick up something she had left behind. She brought it back without thinking. She thought about asking my brother and sister-in-law for permission. She wanted to ask Rose's permission, but Karen thought that something had happened between Rose and me, so she was going to bring it back at the first opportunity. I was surprised to see the baby clothes Karen had brought. Rose, on the other hand, was surprised to see that Karen had brought baby clothes from Rose's place. "What are you doing with all this junk?" I asked her, and as usual she looked at me like I was an idiot. But the next thing Karen said was, Rose's color changed. "What are you talking about, garbage? It's such a waste to throw it away. It's such a luxury item."
A luxury item?
Right, it's Judas' work. Isn't that what it should be? Karen says that the baby clothes she threw away as trash are luxury items. Rose didn't seem to have caught up with her understanding of that. She wrinkled her forehead. "You are a fashionable lady, but didn't you know those baby clothes were luxury goods?" I could tell from the paper bag, you know? I thought you just didn't like them, but I can't believe you didn't know.
What? What are you talking about? How can baby clothes be made by such an idiot as be luxury clothes? You're wrong. You're so wrong.
Rose laughs. Karen sighs in disgust. Then Karen starts to tell Rose about me. I'm the owner of an online store that sells handmade clothing. Karen pulled out her phone and showed Rose the website I run. Rose turned to me with a startled look on her face. She obviously knew the site existed, but she did not know that I was going to run it.
I thought you knew.
Rose is shaken by what Karen said and seems that can't say she knows now. While Rose couldn't say anything, Karen turned to me and said, I heard that Rose didn't want these baby clothes, so I was wondering if I could have them. Rose had thrown the clothes away and I thought no one would wear them. If Karen wants to use them, I would be more than happy to let her use them. I nodded my head happily. Then Karen smiled and looked so happy and said, Thank you so much. I'm so happy to receive such a luxurious gift. And she expressed her happiness. Unlike Karen, Rose's face was filled with anger. And then she did the unthinkable.
They were given to me,
she said, and then took the baby clothes from Karen.
Why didn't you say anything? You said you were just doing some work from home, and you were kind of unemployed.
I never said that. Rose just assumed that I was unemployed. I thought so and glared at Rose.
What's that look in your eyes?
She put her hand in the air. Just then, I heard the front door open. It was Mark and Jory coming in after work. Rose hurried to set things right. The situation was resolved. I looked at Karen and our eyes locked. And winked at me. I wasn't sure what to make of it. I gave her a wry smile, but she was probably just trying to help me out. After that, as if nothing had happened, the baby shower and dinner started, as if nothing had happened. Mark had no idea what was going on. He was happy talking to Rose. Seeing Mark like that changed my feelings. I held back and said nothing for Mark's sake, but I wondered if not saying anything was really for Mark's sake. I was conflicted. In the end, despite my worries, I began to get frustrated with myself for not having done more, and a few days later I got a call from Mark. We decided to meet for the first time in a long time. I was happy to see him, but it was obvious from the tone of Mark's voice that it was not a pleasant conversation. I hadn't seen Mark for a long time. He looked a little tired. As soon as I saw him, "Are you all right?" I asked him. Then Mark told me that he was going to divorce his wife. After the baby clothes, Mark had a talk with his wife. Rose opened up and started cursing me. He said he didn't want to say what he wanted to say because he was worried about my feeling. But considering what we'd been through, from Mark's point of view, Mark must have found it unbearable to hear. The reason why Rose started talking about it was Rose tried to sell the baby clothes she took from Karen. Mark thinks it was a gift from me, so he asked her why she was selling a baby shower gift, but Rose insisted she needed the money. But that wasn't enough to convince Mark. When he asked her about it more, she toured to bay. Rose had always been a spendthrift. Mark wanted to give her a comfortable life, so he gave her enough money, but he felt uncomfortable when Rose turned to bay and cursed at me. Then Mark investigated her using a detective agency, and he found out that she was spending the money on her cheating partner.
I'm sorry I didn't realize HRE true nature and caused repaying all these years.
I'm sorry too. It's our fault. We delayed your marriage, didn't we?
No, it's not your fault.
Well, but you were so happy when you got married. You had a baby and you looked so happy. I'm not very good at expressing my feelings. Whenever I try to express my true feelings, I can't help but cry. Mark is like he used to be. He looked at me calmly and listened to me until I finished what I was saying. After saying all that, I wanted you to be happy with your wife. But if I really wanted you to be happy, I should have told you sooner. I'm sorry I didn't tell you. After saying all that, when I looked at Mark, he was also crying a little. When I saw that, I knew it was wrong to hold back. I wished I had told him everything earlier. I regretted my mistake. Since he was able to talk to me about it, he seemed to have made an even firmer decision to get a divorce. When he got home that day, he showed her the divorce papers, along with proof of the affair. Of course, Rose denied the affair at first, and cried and screamed in front of Mark. But from the evidence, she probably thought it would be hard to deny the affair. Finally, she said, "I'm not going to let you see our children," etc. She tried to use the children to stop the divorce. But the evidence is all there. There's no way she can get away with this. Rose is culpable and has no ability to earn a living. And since she is estranged from her parents, she was judged as it is hard for her to raise their kids. He would have parental authority. The divorce was finalized. The property was then divided. But even though Rose didn't make much money, she still spent all the money she had. And she got into debt. Maybe she acted like she was crying and screaming in front of my brother, and I guess she was not sorry for what she did. But she actually lived in poverty as a little girl, so she had a history of being made fun of. After she grew up, in order not to be made fun of, she became vain. She had hidden it from her brother, but she confessed it to get his sympathy before they divorced. But no matter what she had experienced in the past, what she had done was unforgivable. He didn't feel sorry for her. And he told me not to worry. For now, I take care of the children while he's at work. When my brother told me about he got divorced, I knew he would need a babysitter. I took it upon myself to babysit. At first, my brother was reserved, but then I said, "I want to tell your children what you did for me, and what you taught me." What you taught me. This time with tears of joy. He was so happy. Because of this incident, I want to be able to express my feelings. I've come to realize that sometimes I have to put things into words to take care of someone I love. And this baby girl, I want her to be able to express her feelings and think about the other person's feelings. I want her to grow up that way. In the fresh breeze coming in through the window, looking at her peaceful sleeping face, I wished that the happy memories of this house would continue to grow. I thought to myself,